Hello everybody and welcome to the Chassis Variant series, myself Critical Rocket, as we're having a look at the clan's first 20-tonner, the Piranha. Released in January 2018, for those of you who might be watching the video at a much later date. This is one of Clan Diamond Shark's creations. Very rare for Diamond Sharks to build new mechs in particularly large numbers, as they're more like the merchant caste, traders of the clans. Not so much about conflict, and more about trade. Basically, they use their mercantile skills to one-up their opponents and thus be able to avoid conflict and come to some kind of amicable agreement with their fellow clans to try and get what they want, while also making them think they're getting a better deal. When the clans do go to war, though, which has happened numerous times, they also took part in the two-tiered battle. They brought things like the Piranha with them, and the Piranha was used as mainly a anti-infantry and scout battle mech because it has incredible speed and an incredible number of ballistics hardpoints for machine guns, which made it quite deadly against infantry. On the flip side, after the Battle of Two-Tiered and going into the 3060s, other variants of it did start to appear, such as this one, the Piranha 2. The Piranha 2 is a complete switch around from what the standard Piranha 1 is, where that has a heavy emphasis on its ballistics, backed up by some energy. Ice Hellion decided to build one that is entirely energy. 15 hardpoints to be exact, spread evenly across the side torso, 6 on each, with the remaining being spread across the CT and arms. In essence, this creates an incredibly hot, light 20-tonner, but one that can do an incredible amount of damage in quick succession. It still mounts the same size engine, XL180, and upgrades the heatsinks from standards to doubles. Outside of that, doesn't make that much change. Still has the same very, very flimsy 4-ton of armour, which arguably makes it slightly weaker than a Locust in some respects, but its damage potential is way up there. Now, for customization, there's not really a lot to do. 15 energy hardpoints sounds like a lot, but then there's not really much you can mount because it's 20 tons, and dropping the engine size creates complications because then you're going to need more heatsinks, and you start getting into more and more issues. So, the ER micro lasers, or micro small pulses, can be a pretty decent setup. The default build of this comes with numerous ER smalls backed up by, well, not ER smalls, ER micro smalls, backed up by 2 heavy mediums and 1 heavy small. Those 3 weapons are your main punch, with the micro lasers being there to kind of soften up or add to the damage. I actually found that they were more effective than the heavy lasers, mainly because I could just keep firing repeatedly without having to worry too much about my heat spiking until they were combined with the heavy lasers. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage quick, and it certainly doesn't mean you're going to be going toe-to-toe with other mechs, but I would say that the Piranha 2 is a hell of a lot of fun. Having all 12 of the micro lasers on one weapon group and just having them in chain fire means you can just very quickly fire several bursts from them before moving, or if you get up behind something you can just rapidly tap the button and do lots of damage into those weaker rear areas of larger mechs, especially assault mechs that you can get up behind quite quickly. I sort of had that kind of opportunity against a Mad Cat Mark II, I think, on this map, where I was on one of the overhangs, sort of looking down on it, so it gave me an opportunity to just constantly harass it, and the pilot luckily didn't seem too bothered about me hitting him in the rear, so that was alright. But I really like the Piranha so far. The Piranha 1 is a lot of fun, though ammunition reliant, admittedly. This version is probably the definitive one, though. I really do like the Piranha 2, simply because it's extremely straightforward, it doesn't mess around, and it can do phenomenal amounts of damage in the right hands. It is let down by the fact that it is extremely weak. It's paper thin in its armour, and that means that you are going to want to invest in most of the skill nodes to do with increasing its internal and armour bonuses, and probably the heat ones, possibly speed tweak, I don't know. With how weak it is, once something does get a solid lock on you, I don't really know if the speed tweak's really going to get you out of range in time, especially with the size of some of the maps in this. It'd be great for maps like Polar, I suppose, but maps like Tourmaline, Grim Plexus, although they appear large, realistically, once something's got a sightline on you, it's difficult to break that, and you're already going to take the damage before you get a good chance to evade. With that said, though, it's a particularly fun mech to run. It suffers the same drawbacks as the standard Piranha in its placement of its hardpoints, so you're going to be keeping in mind that your arm-mounted weaponry is more likely to hit the ground if you're not aware of the clearance, and your torso-mounted weaponry is a mix of high-mounted and low-mounted, so you are going to be exposing more of your mech than normal to enemy fire if they are looking back at you. However, I thought this was quite a fun round. I think I did quite a good amount of damage, and at least worked in the harassment role, which is kind of what the Piranha is meant to be. So, if you haven't had a look at it yet, and you've picked up the pack but you haven't quite played it, have a look at it. It's quite fun. If you are still on the fence, the way I would describe this, it's $15 obviously for the pack, and PGI are gonna wait you out because there's obviously a long gap of 4 or 5, or is it 6 months between C-bill releases. So if you really do want to wait it out patiently, then you know the Piranha will probably have been and gone by then, so they won't be as common, which means you might have the advantage by that time. If you don't want to wait and you don't mind giving PGI a bit of cash, it's not a bad 20-tonner. If you like light mechs specifically, this one is a little bit of a challenge, but it's also quite different. And yeah, I don't know. I always find it a bit difficult saying whether people should spend money on this or not. I do think though, if you enjoy light mechs, then this is definitely one that you'll enjoy as well. If you're a clan player, it's finally you've got that 20-ton mech that you can bring to the field if you buy the pack. I wouldn't say it's a definite must-have, but if you have sort of been cautiously sitting back and waiting, I'd say the verdict is that this is a good mech. It's fun. It certainly reinvigorates a bit for me, because I'll probably put in a bit more time playing this with the Piranha, just try and skill it up without using GXP. And that's about it. I mean, the rest of this round, I think I was the last person, I think, on this round. It turned against us because I think they had more assaults than we did, and it was a good fight though. I did enjoy it. So I think we're getting up to the end parts now, where I realised, yeah, it was me and a Hellbringer going up against them. I think I get this guy though, or at least did I blow something? No, I thought I blew up the Ebon Jag, but obviously not. Oh, I thought I had it. I thought I got him, but I didn't. But yeah, this one's wrapping up. Let me go. Pretty sure I got one of them. Did I get this guy? Because he was ignoring me, this vulture. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I realised his side torso was going to pop and he was ignoring me. More fool him. Yeah, and this is it. And then there's the king crab, and I got a bit. I got him. That's why I was wiggling the cockpit around, but then I realised that I'm not going to power up in time, and that was the end of that. Yeah, there we go. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.